we turn to this indigenous leader in his own words. Last night, I sat down with Davi Kopenawa, who is a Right Livelihood laureate, along with his organization, Nós Yanomami Association. Kopenawa is a shaman of the Yanomami people, one of the largest indigenous tribes in Brazil, dedicating his life to preserving his culture and protecting the Amazon rainforest. I began by asking him to talk about the threats facing the Yanomami people.
My name is Davi Kopenawa.
My name is Davi Kopenawa Yanomami. I am a representative of the Yanomami people in Roraima and Amazônia states in Brazil. My people, the Yanomami, is a sacred people.
Até hoje, o não indígena não
Up until today, the non-indigenous peoples haven't recognized where we come from, where we were born, and that is why the non-indigenous society is always messing up with our homes, destroying our land, our territory, contaminating our rivers, killing our fish.
A saúde Yanomami está contaminado.
And hindering the health of the Yanomami people, who are now contaminated by men who came and contaminated our home.
The recent election of Jair Bolsonaro as the president of Brazil, how has that affected indigenous people?
President
Bolsonaro was elected by his own people. Us, indigenous peoples, we haven't participated in it. We have not voted for him, but he's now there.
Ele está querendo não, ele já está preparando.
And he's preparing a trap.
Armadilha para meu povo.
He is preparing a trap for my Yanomami people in order to fool us and manipulate us.
Explain more what that trap is.
Então a armadilha como se pega onça.
It is a trap just like the one you use to hunt an onça, Brazilian jaguar, or a snake when they're sleeping at their homes. Men prepare a trap to get the animal.
Para maltratar.
So it is a trap to mistreat us. He threatened us
Deixar doente meu povo.
to make my people fall ill, to make our children fall ill and get diseases. That's what I mean by trap.
E ele sempre usa.
That's the trap he always uses to any kind of indigenous people
A Terra planeta.
and the planet Earth.
Can you explain Bolsonaro's latest moves trying to get a law passed that would allow for more gold mining, and what that means for the Yanomami and other indigenous people?
Fazer pensamento dele
Before he was able to become a president, he already has this thought, this intention of reducing the size of our land. He says it is too much land for just a few indigenous peoples, and it is a land very rich in minerals, in wood. He says that the land is good for plants such as crops of soybeans or sugarcane.
Planta que eles que planta para.
They want to use the land to plant things that they use for food, food for the city. That's his reasoning. He wants to extract things from the underground
tirar a riqueza da terra.
That's his concern. He wants to extract the wealth from the earth,
Os Yanomami está
right from the land where Yanomami people have been living for many, many years.
falando que ele
That's why he keeps talking about it. He created a legislation.
lei mineração
It is
escreveu
a bill for
para ele provar.
mining,
Congresso Nacional
and he wants to get it approved at our National Congress.
Eu tô assim sabendo que vai
And I am aware of it.
deixar acontecer isso.
I know that if they let it happen, this is really a worry for me.
Mercury, what's used in the gold mining process, how does it make people sick?
Bom, eu vou explicar.
I'm going to explain it to you.
Essa mercúrio,
This mercury
mercúrio que ele
that they use,
vem buscar no outro lugar.
they use it when
O
they actually get it from somewhere else, from Japan or from here in Europe,
A mineração
and then they use it
eles
in their mining
fazem
activities.
buraco,
The machines come to dig a huge hole
tira minério para
to extract minerals,
botar no rio.
and then it goes on the rivers.
A minério
The rivers are full of minerals,
cheio de areia,
full of gold,
de lama.
full of sand and mud.
Ele derrama acima.
The mercury
Derrama acima para
is then dropped on the rivers, and they use it to separate
para
mud and sand
ouro ficar limpo.
so that the only thing left behind is gold. That's what they use it for.
Ele cai dentro do rio.
And the mercury is then left inside of the river.
Terra de açúcar não, ele
It won't melt
doença
like sugar does. It stays there. It is a disease that stays within our rivers.
o peixe vai
And then
vai
fish
pegando
come
comendo peixe pequeno.
and eat
e a
smaller
peixe
fish,
comendo a fruta cai no rio e a água
just like fruits that
pega
fall into the rivers, and then fish get contaminated. And us, Yanomami, who live by the rivers,
para fazer
we use the water
tomar banho
to make food or to bathe in
e
it
beber.
and to drink it.
Fica doente.
And after,
A
we
doença
get
fica-
sick.
Fica câncer.
We get cancer.
Câncer e a nossos filhos
And our children,
nasce pequeno.
then born smaller than usual, underdeveloped. That's what mercury is causing. Our health is terrible in Yanomami people because of it.
Davi, I wanted to read a few of Bolsonaro's quotes. In 1998, he said, "It's a shame that the Brazilian cavalry hasn't been as efficient as the Americans who exterminated the Indians."
O presidente dos Estados Unidos
The
acabaram
president of the United
indígenas de
States,
lá.
they exterminated
Então, esse que
our
tá-
indigenous
que
peoples
tá
who
fazendo,
lived
ele
over
tá-
there.
tá repetindo,
He's doing just the same. He's
Querendo matar meu
repeating it. He wants to
Querendo
kill
acabar
my
com a floresta,
people. He wants to get rid of the
estragar nossa
forest.
saúde.
He wants to destroy our health.
esse é o papel dele.
That's the role he's playing.
Essa o lei que saiu dos Estados Unidos.
That's a law that
E
came
o
from the
governo
United
brasileiro, ele tá
States.
usando
And the Brazilian government
papel
is
que chama
using
cópia.
it as a copy, like you call it.
I wanted to read another quote from a few years ago, 2015. Bolsonaro said, "The Indians do not speak our language, they do not have money, they do not have culture, they are native peoples. How do they manage to get 13% of the national territory?" And he said, "There is no indigenous territory where there aren't minerals. Gold, tin, magnesium are in these lands, especially in the Amazon, the richest area in the world. I'm not getting into this nonsense of defending land for Indians, Bolsonaro said. If you could comment.
Ele ouviu falar outra pessoa.
He heard other people
É
talking.
por isso que ele falou que nós
And that's why he says
Yanomami
that
não fala
us
português.
Yanomami people do
Claro
not
que
speak
ninguém fala
Portuguese.
português.
Of
O
course,
meu povo
we don't
Yanomami
speak
não é
Portuguese
Portugal, não.
because we're not from Portugal.
Nós somos Yanomami
We are
do Brasil.
Yanomami from Brazil.
Nós temos própria nossa
We
língua.
have our
Ela
own
existe no
language.
Yanomami.
It exists. It is Yanomami.
E Yanomami não precisa de dinheiro.
Yanomami do not need any money.
Yanomami não pode, assim, não precisa de dinheiro.
Yanomami
Pra
do
roubar
not need money to
as
go
pessoas,
on and
roubar
steal
amigo,
from
roubar
others, to
próprio
steal from
parente,
friends, from
irmão.
your own relatives and brothers. We don't
Yanomami
need that.
É pensamento diferente.
Yanomami has a different way of thinking.
É por isso que ele leu contra nós,
He read things
contra
against
nós,
us.
porque
He has read
ele perdeu,
things because
quando nós ganhamos
he
vitória.
lost when we had our victory,
Pegamos as nossas terras, foi
when we
roubado,
were
nós
able
pegamos de
to
volta.
have again
Então é por isso
to
que ele
get
fala
back
mal da gente.
for us our land that had been stolen from
E eu
us,
não
and that's
queria
why
falar
he
contra ele, mas
talks
eu me defendo.
against us and he speaks
nome
these
do meu
bad
povo.
things about us. And I defend
defendo
myself and my
nome,
people
a
on
nossa
behalf
língua
of
que
my
não fala.
people. I defend
Não
the name
interessa
of my
falar
people and our language.
Para o Yanomami falar português.
What's the
Não
use for
interessa.
the Yanomami
Nos
to speak
interessa a nossa
Portuguese? We're
própria
not
língua
interested in it.
que conhece,
We're interested in our
que
own language,
conhece,
our knowledge,
sabedoria do nosso povo que
the
já
knowledge
usou.
of our
Essa
people
que é
who
interessa
uses
pra
its
nós.
own language. That's what's
Certo?
interesting for us.
Ele fala que o Bolsonaro falou que
But I wanted to
sobre a
respond
nossa
to the
riqueza.
second thing
Claro
that
que
you
nossa
read about his
claro
words
que nosso
when he
Brasil é
speaks of
rico.
our wealth. Of course, there's a lot
Nosso
of wealth.
Brasil
Brazil
é
is very
totalmente
rich.
rico.
Our country,
Rico de
Brazil, is very
terra
rich,
boa.
rich
Rico
in
de
good
floresta.
land, in
Rico de
forests,
montanha,
rich
água,
in mountains
e a
and waters.
pirataria que a gente usa, remédio
The medicine,
remédio natural.
the natural medicines that we use, and beautiful places.
Esse é que nós somos ricos.
That's where we're rich in.
Nós, Yanomami que mora lá,
Us Yanomami who live there,
e nunca passou fome.
who have never experienced hunger before
que foram lá pra
people who
invasão do
came to
Brasil,
invade our land, to invade
eles
Brazil.
encontraram nosso sadio.
When they first met us,
Eles
we were
encontraram
healthy.
nosso sadio,
They
já tinha
found
comida,
us healthy
banana,
with lots of
mandioca,
food, banana,
macaxeira,
manioc,
cana, pupunha,
sugar cane,
cará,
palm
e
heart,
as frutas
cará
da
fruit,
floresta,
and all the fruits you find in the
animal,
forest,
caça, anta,
animals, game that we
peixe,
hunt,
tinha tudo. Essa que é
tapir,
a nossa
fish,
riqueza.
everything. That's
Não é
what
riqueza
we're
que
rich
fica
in.
cavando buraco.
It's not the
pra
kind of
destruir
wealth that you need to
terra,
dig
não.
a hole
Nós, ao meu
in the
povo,
earth to find it, to
diferente.
destroy the land. Our
É por
people
isso
is
que ele tá
different.
falando contra nós.
That's why he
E eu não
speaks
queria falar
against
contra
us.
ele,
And I don't want
como
to say
ele
bad
tacou,
things about
eu vou
him,
tacar ele.
but he attacked
Eu não
us,
vou-
so
eu
I
não vou
will
dar uma
attack
flechada
him.
nele. Eu não vou dar uma flechada nele, não.
I am not going to
Mas
attack
eu
him
vou
with a
falar
bow
assim,
and arrow. However, I am going
A
to
nossa briga é
to
nossa
fight
bela boca, o papel.
using my mouth and
Então,
paper.
Realmente, ele usa como
He
palavra
uses
preconceito,
words and the word that you use, which is prejudice. He doesn't like indigenous peoples. He does not want
viver em
to let the Yanomami people to live at peace protected. He does not want that. He doesn't want to let it happen. What he wants is to extract our wealth to send to other country.
A riqueza da nossa terra Yanomami,
The wealth of our Yanomami land, he will take it
mandar para China,
and send it to China,
lá para Japão,
to Japan,
Alemanha,
to Germany,
outro lugar.
and other
Esse aqui é
places.
pensamento dele.
That's his way of thinking.
Preocupado dele para ganhar dinheiro.
That's his concern, making money,
Para ele ficar,
earning money
fica rico.
so that he can become rich. And when he becomes rich,
Ele não vai
and when
levar
he
nada.
dies, he won't take any of it with it, not even his underwear.
Bolsonaro calls the climate crisis a hoax. President Trump calls the climate crisis a hoax. Can you talk about what the climate crisis means for the Yanomami people, for the people of Brazil?
Grupo doente.
They're a sick
O
group.
presidente dos Estados Unidos,
The president of the
o
United States,
presidente do Brasil
the president of
e o
Brazil,
presidente do venezuelano.
and the president of Venezuela.
Então eles estão conversando entre eles.
They are talking to each
Para dizer
other
que não está
and
acontecendo,
discussing,
não está acontecendo
and then
problema
they
no
tell
Brasil.
people there are no problems in
quer
Brazil because they want to hide it.
Isso é bem claro.
This is very clear.
Todo mundo sabe o que está acontecendo.
Everyone knows
A
it's
mudança
taking
climática.
place, climate change.
Até ele está vendo o fogo queimando a floresta.
He sees the fire burning
não tá
up our
preocupado,
forests,
não.
but he's not concerned
Ele não está
about it.
preocupado que a floresta está queimando.
He's not worried when he sees the
Que a
forest
floresta
burning
queimando,
up.
Ele está aproveitando
He's taking advantage of it
para não desmatar. Quando a fogo queima
because
a
the
floresta,
fire burns
e
up
a
the
árvore fica
forest
queimando,
and
e
the
os
trees burn
trabalhadores vão
up,
aproveitar.
and then workers
derrubar.
come and take advantage of
Esse
it
que ele
and
tá-
bring
esse que ele
trees
tá
down.
falando. Esse é o pensamento
Yeah,
dele.
that's his way of thinking.
Realmente aconteceu sim.
But it truly took place.
Esse problema a queimança,
It's
a
happening.
queimada da floresta, e o
Wildfires in the
desmatamento tá
forest and the
aumentando, sim.
forestation are increasing.
Can you talk about the murder of Paulo Paulino Guajajara, the indigenous forest protector? Your organization has worked with him for some time. Recently, a group of experts released an open letter to Bolsonaro, warning a genocide is underway against the indigenous tribes of the Amazon rainforest. Do you feel threatened yourself and respond to that murder?
Eu sou a liderança
Well, I am
que
a
luta.
leader who fights.
Quais 8 anos, 40 anos.
I've been fighting for
Sim, eu tô
40
ameaçado,
years,
sim.
and
Eu
I
tô
am
ameaçado,
threatened.
Ameaçado com pelos grupo de
I am threatened by a group of illegal gold miners
fazendeiros.
and also
Os
farmers
políticos.
and
Os
politicians.
políticos, eles têm a
Politicians have
pessoa que gosta de matar,
a way
costuma
of
matar índio.
finding someone who
Então, eu
enjoys
tô, assim,
killing and who
perseguido.
kills indigenous peoples. And
Nossa
I am
liderança indígena
persecuted.
que luta,
Our indigenous
de
leaders
verdade,
who really
eles querem
fight,
acabar.
they want to
Então,
get
eu
rid
tô-
of us.
Eu estou ameaçado
So I am threatened.
e eu acho que vai acontecer
And I think
de novo que nós
that this will happen
o
again.
nome do Bolsonaro.
We
Ele
have talked about
ele
his name,
vai,
Bolsonaro. He will
Ele vai saber que nós estamos falando
know that we are
nome do
talking
Bolsonaro.
about him,
Então,
about his name, Bolsonaro.
Eu estou pedindo,
So
eu vou
I am
pedir
asking
a sua ajuda
your help
para proteger,
in order
para não
to
deixar
protect
acontecer como
us
aconteceu com a
so
outra
that we
liderança
won't let it
foi
happen again
assassinada.
as it happened to other
Então,
leaders who got
Nós estamos,
murdered.
lutando muito perigoso.
It is a very dangerous struggle.
Pequeno, então
In Boa Vista, well, it is a small town.
Os Bolsonaro, eles
So the Bolsonaro people, they pay others to go after the leaders who are fighting.
What message do you have for the leaders of the UN Climate Summit, the thousands of people who come from around the world? And what message do you have to the people of the world?
Então, eu gostaria
Well, I would like
mensagem
give a message from the Yanomami people.
Pedindo,
I would like to ask
as líderes
the leaders, the non-indigenous leaders from here,
junto e também outros líderes
together with other leaders from
casa,
who are at their homes, their cities, their capitals.
Eu queria aproveitar,
I would like to take this opportunity to send them a message,
para eles ficarem sabendo,
so that they can know about what's going on, so they won't let it happen again, something very bad to my Yanomami people, so that they won't let people destroy the environment, so that they won't let people destroy the lungs of planet Earth. That's my message to everyone, all of those who fight, all of those who love the forest, all of those who like to protect, to take care of nature, for their children, grandchildren, and the other generations. I also need help. I need help on that. Because we have grandchildren. So that they have their protected land. So that they have a protected land for them. That is why I'm giving you this message, to ask for your strength, your European people, to talk to Bolsonaro, to talk to the president of Brazil, so that he takes care of his country, so that he can take care of it. Protecting it together with the indigenous peoples, and together with the people who live in sacred lands, and also the Yanomami peoples who have never seen the white man, uncontacted Yanomami people who live in sacred land. So I would like you to protect us, protect the isolated indigenous communities. I do not want the president of Brazil to destroy the lungs of our forest, our real Amazon. It is unique. Lots of people are trying to get their hands on the Amazon, just like bees who collect honey and take it to their homes. I do not want to let him do just the same. That's my message. This is a message for women who fight for having the right to land, men who fight for their forests, their education, their health. Nowadays, the young people, the youth, is fighting, and that's they are the ones who will keep on fighting. It is a struggle, a fight, so we can keep alive, because without the struggle,
floresta.
we won't live.
Então, a
There will
gente
be no
lutando, nós
forest.
vamos
So we
viver.
need to fight for it so we can live.
And what does the Right Livelihood Award mean to you? Why you're here in Stockholm, Sweden?
Bom, eu acho muito importante.
I think this award
Muito
is really important.
interessante.
It is very interesting
O governo Suécia
that the government of Sweden invented
criar
this
prêmio.
and created this award.
Esse prêmio ele é importante
This
para
award is
reconhecer
important
a minha luta,
to bring
fazer
recognition to my
reconhecer o meu
struggle,
povo Yanomami,
to bring
o povo
recognition to my
cidade, o
Yanomami
povo
people,
da nossa planeta.
so that the
Esse é
people from the
muito
city and the people of the planet
que
get to know us. This is
povo
really
daqui,
important that the people from
ofereceu pra
here
mim.
are
Eu nunca
offering me
pedi.
this award. I never asked
ofereceram,
for it. You offered it,
Poder aceitar
and I
prêmio.
am happy to
É muito
accept it.
importante. Esse é
It is really
esse
important.
É resultado da nossa
It is the result of our fight.
Brazilian indigenous leader Davi Kopenawa, co-founder of the Hutucara Yanomami Association. He'll receive the Right Livelihood Award tonight, along with the 16-year-old Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg, Sahrawi human rights leader Aminatou Haidar, and Chinese women's rights lawyer Guo Jinmei. When we return, we speak to the former UN Special Rapporteur on Torture, who just released a devastating report on the more than 7 million children worldwide deprived of their liberty, from immigration jails to orphanages to prisons. Stay with us.